right. Namaskaram, everyone. Thank you for joining us from whatever corner of the world. Um, Thank you, Dr. Dubey, for joining us. Arun Kumar Dubey is with us today presenting his paper. Actually, we've known Dr. Dubey for a while now and just supremely excited to have him on this semester. I know we've been chasing you, so namaskaram and thank you for being here. Dr. Dubey, a super brief introduction before we jump in. Dr. Dubey is an assistant professor in the Department of Community Medicine, Medical Sociology at the Institute of Medical Sciences at Banaras Hindu University. It feels like all roads again lead to BHU, and Dr. Dubey comes to us right from there. Today, he's going to be presenting parts of his paper that he actually submitted to the Journal of Indology. It was published there some time ago. So I'm going to link those things in this chat also, so you can find the paper there. But he's going to be giving us perspectives on the study of social indology, especially with a reference to Shukraneeti. So here we have an indologist who is part of the health and community umbrella also, and then also interested in Dharma Shastras, Dharma Sutras, and Shukraneeti. So without further ado, I will turn it over to you, and I will also just let you share the presentation, whatnot, as you go along. So everyone, namaste, welcome to the Indology online webinars. On to you, sir.
I start now? Yeah. Namaste, all of you. Myself, Dr. Arun. I am assistant professor in Department of Community Medicine. My specialization, medical sociology. Recently, I start to work on indology due to personal interest. And my PPT are visible or not?
Not yet.
PPT is visible or not?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. And I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
All good.
This is a very good opportunity for me to interact all eminent scholars across the world, especially India and USA. And I am not very serious researcher in Indology, but I am newly started my work in Indology, especially with the sociology in ancient India. This is the social Indology. This term coined by few years ago when this government, currently Indian government, are interesting Indian cultural and heritage and historical perspective of the India. So, because some misconception about the Indian culture, Indian text, and Indian history written by so many authors, and we have not found any systematic study in sociology with Indology. So we will plan for last 5 years working in this area, 2020 to 2024 almost completed. But we found some basic classical literature in Indian, ancient Indian scripture and writing. So I want interested in basically Shukraneeti, Arthashastra, and some other classical literature. But Shukraneeti is a specific Indian social writing, Indian classical text. So, please, anyone want to communicate something? No. Okay. Uh, Actually, about Shukraneeti, I want to communicate some few observation about the Indian text, classical Indian text, and ancient Indian text. First thing, some words are literally I cannot translate, just like dharma. Dharma is a different word, and a religion cannot translate the dharma. because dharma have specific features. If you want to discuss in this direction, so I will ready and I will argue this point. Religion basically introduce way of worship, specific nature. Dharma have basically very inclusive and broader concept. So I cannot replace dharma with religion. This is first thing. Second thing, all Indian classical text, ancient classical text, basically based on dharma. Dharma based on dharma because all ethics, all values, all traditions originated from the dharma. So Shukraneeti is also based on dharma. And when Shukracharya, well-known teacher of Asuras, Asuras, we cannot translate Asuras because Asuras and evils both are different mindset. Asuras and Devas both are worship of the gods, God, Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, any other. But evils don't follow any god. If we follow any specific negative sense, but asuras negative after the worship, and all the source of power vested in the god and goddess of Hindu classical text. So asuras, teacher of asuras, Sukracharya, uh, writing is very important for the governance, societal conduct, and as well as moral conduct. So when I will prepare a simple few slide, very small slide, only 20 slide and effective time reading of slide only 10 minutes. But I will try to finish my talk and my views uh, 15 to 20 minutes because this is the brief. If you want to explain point to point, I think one point is more than 6 hours to 7 hours. Uh, so I am not able to 6 hours speak because I am simple student of the Indology. So I start. Please, I welcome all of you and I welcome your suggestion to improve my paper and improve my talk. So I'm start. Topic is perspectives on the study of social Indology in special reference of Shukraneeti, ethical principle and contemporary relevance. Uh, I divide our slide in three parts. Yes. Purpose of the presentation to provide insight into the philosophy of Sukraniti, to explore its relevance in modern governance and ethics. This is the important for contemporary society also, to discuss challenge in the integration, ancient wisdom and content contemporary needs. Content. Divide in some part, specific part. First is introduction, other importance of Sukraniti, origin and historic background. I want to explain what is the Indology and what is the ethical principle in Sukraniti, and specifically governance, social and moral life. Concept of karma and dharma and bhagya. Bhagya is cannot translated in luck because Bhagya is a different domain of the Indian classical text. Relevance of the modern time, spiritual journey, comparative analysis with the Western ethical framework. This is my personal view. I want to differentiate what is the Indian views and what is the Western views. Uh, this is maybe narrow point because in Indian classical text or Hindu dharma always exclusively accepting our type of the ideology, welcoming every ideology. Positive ideology, Indian classical text always welcome. And this is the very important. And lastly, we will discuss on conclusion. Okay. Actually, agar, when we are talking about Sukraniti, based on the experiences of Sukracharya and that time of the society, the need of society, that time, every ideology based on the fulfillment of the need of society in own time. So this is a holistic approach by Sukracharya, included dharma, governance, administration, economy, all aspect of the human life is covered by Sukracharya in the Sukraniti. Actually, Sukracharya, when we can say, is a very honored teacher and very well-known intellectual and honored by both asuras and gods. Both honored Sukracharya. And we can say his ethical guideline and principle for governance and social conduct and personal behavior are so important that time as well as also in contemporary society. This is the uh, according to archaeologists, this writing approximate 500 after Christ, and some text are says this is the 2 or 300 after Isha. But according to my knowledge, this is the equivalent of Chanakya, nearby Chanakya, approximate 2000 BC to 2000 AD. This is my opinion because history, archaeological evidence cannot prove within 200, 300 year. This is the negative part of the archaeology. But we can say briefly, this happened, these are classical text written uh, approximate 2000 BC to after 2000 AD. And this all slokas collected approximate 6,000 slokas in Sukraniti, and its literal meaning is referring knowledge, intellectuality, and code of conduct. So this is very important part because Hindu classical text, yeah, Indian classical text, uh, basically based on universality, flexibility, and tolerance. And so Sukraniti everywhere explained the what is universality, universalism, concept of universalism, concept of flexibility, concept of tolerance, and what is the well behavior, what is the social conduct, different type. I divide in total Sukraniti in three domain. First is ethical governance. Governance is a very important aspect of the our life in contemporary society. Uh, when we analyze the Sukraniti provide us a ethical framework of the leadership. Actually, leadership according when we are survey of the Indian jurisprudence, we can say Bharatiya Nyaya Shastra, Indian jurisprudence system. The punishment and the price according to the severity of the crime. Severity of the crime, if a person have knowledge of the any law, and then when he violate the law, knowledgeable person, the punishment is severe. So Sukraniti basically try to make a spiritual framework, ethical framework for the leadership, for the kings and for the princes. And governance emphasizing the importance of moral integrity and justice in ruling. This is very important. We can compare in this time, contemporary society and past society, the uh, ethics are very important, values are very important for the governance and ruling. And social harmony, it is the very second important part of the Shukraneeti. It outlined principle for the maintaining social order and coherence, promoting community welfare and ethical interaction. We are many time Indian classical text writers say the Indian is a who believe in groupism, believe in a holistic way of life, believe in sharing. Many, am I audible?
Yeah, you're good.
Uh,
You're cutting out
okay, okay, okay.
in yeah, a little bit, but overall okay.
Okay, thank you. Uh, Writer of Indian classical texts always explain every in text to social metabolism and entirely different of other culture when we are compare Indian culture in past in ancient era and in comparison of different culture in past era that equal time we can found the Indian culture more inclusive, more tolerant, and more community oriented due to moral life, value oriented life, due to family structure, due to social metabolism or social fabric. And third part domain is a personal conduct. The treatise offers guidance on personal behavior, encouraging virtues such as a truthfulness. In Sukraniti called Satya. Satya is basically foundation of every governance, every political behavior, every social behavior, every economic behavior. Satya, basically, truthfulness is a basic foundation of the Indian philosophy, Indian dharma, and Indian classical text. So we can explain and any other thing just like honesty, compassion, and responsibility and accountability. Origin already talked about origin. Asian text approximate 200 before Christ is and to 300 AD. But this is very important Indian classical Asian text and particularly those related Sukracharya as a key figure in Hindu classical text. Sukracharya's teaching were compiled in Sukraniti, which serve as a guide for the ethical and moral conduct. First, in before writing is in memory-based system, Vedic system of India, and all the classical text transfer one generation to the other generation by hearing. This is called Shruti. And Sukraniti also in Shruti, but after in 8th century, I think in we found in writing mode and text mode. Historical background, Vedic influence and influence by Acharya creation Arthashastra. This is a very important classical Indian text and principle of Sukraniti are deeply rooted in Vedic Hindu tradition, reflecting the ethical and moral value. Moral word basically this is the not Indian words because mulya was used in Indian classical text. Moral and moral word we are I think uh, find in other literature, other linguistic system. Mulya is different from the value, moral value and mulya. Both are different. Mulya is completely complete a holistic view of the human act and relevance of the ethics, relevance of morality, and relevance of dharmas. But value things, I think some conservative definition of the value. So mulya is a very important aspect of the Shukracharya, and mulya used by Shukracharya in many places. Cultural context, the treatise was developed in the time when Indian society was structured around the kingdom and empire, necessitating to a strong emphasis on governance and social order. Uh, I think 2000 year is completed. We are why I am taking risk to compare that time and past time. So I am very careful about the comparison of the that current contemporary society with the past society. And third is a transmission. The teaching of Sukracharya were passed down through generations, often orally before being documented in the written form. I already said this statement. Right. Significance in ancient society. I divide in three segments, just like governance. Sukraniti provided a framework woven judicially and ethically. Ethics based on dharma, dharma shastra, niti shastra, and so many, and Vedas, uh, Smrit Puranas, so many classical texts. Uh, Divide, rule, regulation, karmas, duties of Raja and kings and Rajkumar and princes. So this is Sukrachar also divide in so many segment and social conduct. Social conduct is a very important for the student of sociology like me. It offered guideline for the individual to maintain social coexistence and fulfill their duty and responsibility. Because when we are talking about classical Indian text, everywhere they are talking about karma, not about the right, not about the what is the result about the karma. Uh, Only they communicate, you perform your duty, you perform your karma, and this is the depend on your karma, your result, and bhagya. I am explaining next slide to what is the bhagya, how many type of karma according to Sukriniti. And third is segment is the spiritual guidance. Spirituality is a very important aspect in contemporary society because WHO include in definition of health, spirituality is a compulsory part of health. Calmness, coolness, and enjoyment, coping mechanism. So many aspects is related with spirituality. So this is very emphasized on the importance of spiritual growth and adherence to dharma and based on the dharma. Indology. I want to define Indology. Indology is the academic study of the history, culture, language, literature, and philosophy. And Dharma, in bracket, I mentioned religion, but exactly Dharma cannot explain religion. Of Indians subcontinent, it is a subset of Asian studies and it is also known as the Indian studies. Now we call is a Bharat Vidya Paddhati. In India, this is new nomenclature of the Indology Bharat Vidya Paddhati. And some organization is working on this. Indology help is in understanding the rich cultural heritage and diversity of India. Indology explore the major religion. There I am use religion because we are talking about the way of worship. The originated in India, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, and their philosophical underpinning. Global perspective, Indology promote a global appreciation of India contribution towards its civilization, including its scientific, mathematical, and philosophical advancement. I want to explain some important ethical principle of Sukraniti. First is a moral integrity. Moral integrity is a very philosophical word and value-oriented word, but India want to socialization through family and family based on dharma and all the right, all the duties of family related by dharma and rituals. So internalization of the social trait or dharma by the socialization process by birth of the children in the society of India, in ancient India. Moral integrity, honestly, and truthfulness is a very important segment. Everywhere we found in classical Indian text, truthfulness and honesty emphasizes the importance of being truthful and honest in all dealing. Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha, four Purusartha of the Indian philosophy and Indian classical text. I don't use mythology word in anywhere in my slide because mythology is a different concept according to Indian classical text. And myth, it is not scientifically proved. And mythology originated from the myth. So I never use mythology. In second domain is justice and fairness, equitable governance. This is very important according to need, according to uh, uh, personal requirement. Uh, Advocate for the fair and judicious governance, ensuring the rurals protect their subject and punish uh, wrongs appropriately. What is the wrong? What is the crime? Well defined in Sukracharya, and what is the good thing, and what is the right duty in defining Sukracharya in justice and fairness. Karma and dharma. Our righteous action emphasize perform one duty. I always said karma is a very important segment of the Indian classical text and Indology. And perform dharma, dharma, it means set of duties, set of living, a set of way of life, all the things covered in dharma. Very important aspect, how to perform your duty by karma with the righteous and integrity. What is karma in Sukraniti? Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharat, Ramayana, Kathopanishad, and other Indian classical text. So many statements, so many quotations, so many slokas in different Indian classical text. But Sukraniti is, I think, conclusion of all the classical literature according to karma. Karma refer to the action or deed performed by an individual. In Sukraniti, it is emphasized that one's action determine their future outcome. This is very important. This is the continuity between the past, present, and future. Vinay Kumar Sarkar is a very good author on the Sukraniti. He wrote a book in 1924, the positive background of Hindu sociology. This book is the base of my talk, Vinay Kumar Sarkar, and he said uh, the Sukraniti is a concept and so the continuity this worldly to otherworldly. This is very important statement. And all the Western positivists, just like Durkheim, Auguste Comte, he compare the this worldly to otherworldly, the scientific method of study of the Indian classical text. So Sukraniti is a very important in the view of Vinay Kumar Sarkar. Uh, he said, this is the statement of Vinay Kumar Sarkar. Sukrachar teach that good action lead to the positive result, while bad action result in the negative consequences. The principle encourage individual to act rightly and ethically. And character and deeds. According to Sukraniti, a person's social status, just like Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. This is the classification of the society according to functional division of the society. Society according to need divided in four part. I think all of you know about the classical division of the society in four segment: Brahmin, Kshatri, Vaishya, and Sudra. Uh, no caste sustained in this period. In Sukracharya writing, caste is, I think, in India in 12th century. This is the my uh, opinion about the caste. This is the Portugali words and used in different segment. So caste is not basically Indian classical text. No any concept of the caste in Indian classical text. Character, according to Sukraniti, a person, social status like Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, according to karma, is determined by their character. Character by gun. Three type of gun in explained in Sukracharya: Sato gun, Tamo gun, and Rajo gun. Sato gun represent the positive, pure positive thinking and positive energy about the person. Rajogun, this is the mix Satogun and Tamogun, and who were king and other warriors related with Rajogun and Tamogun. Tamogun is basically negative thinking, negative energy. This gun based on the society divided in four parts and deeds karma rather than birth. Birth is not important in the classical Indian text. Thus, birth is not important. Important is your karma and guna. And I think this is the very common thing, and you all very well know about this fact. And what is dharma? You can very well know about the religion, but dharma in Sukraniti refer to the righteous duty or moral responsibility of an individual. It compasses an ethical obligation one must follow to maintain social order and personal integrity. Sukracharya outlines specific duties of different roles in the society, such as a rural warriors and common citizens, emphasizing that adhering to one's dharma is crucial for the societal harmony. Dharma have divide dharma in different part: Varna dharma, Ashram dharma, and Raj dharma, Apad dharma. So many type of division of dharma, and this is the specific denote specific duty of a specific person. Dharma means duty. Duty means karma. Upholding dharma involve acting with honesty, fairness, and compassion, ensuring the one action contribute to the greater goods. Role of bhagya. We can say in general language luck. Actually, we cannot explain bhagya is words of luck. So I am not able to displace bhagya with luck, because bhagya is a continuous sequence with past, present, and future. And three type of karma. I explain in this slide. Uh, Interplay with karma. While Sukraniti acknowledges the role of bhagya or fortune in an individual's life, it places greater emphasis on karma. Luck is seen as a factor that can influence outcome, but it is ultimately one's action that shape their destiny. Three type of karma in defined in Sukraniti: Sanchit karma, collection of the karma; Prarabdha. Prarabdha is a part of Sanchit karma; and Kriyaman. Kriyaman, in contemporary time, we are doing, in present time, what is I am doing? This is the Kriyaman. This is a collection after completion of the birth cycle. When Sanchit karma is a so many birth, because the Sanatan Hindu dharma believe in the rebirth and again rebirth. And so Sanchit karma is a collection of the all birth time of karma of the all birth. And Prarabdha is some segment of Sanchit Karma. And Kriyaman is a present. Our karma is Kriyaman. So this is the correlation between present, past, and future. Balancing factor, Sukracharya suggests the while luck can bring unexpected opportunity or challenges. Uh, Consistent righteous action, karma, and adherence of one duties, dharma, are most reliable path to success and fulfillment. Clear cut. When you perform your duty with dharma, then you can achieve your goal properly. It means the means of any goal is positive, value oriented, ethical, and moral. Then we achieve the actual goal and uh, pure goal. Then, or this time, I want to compare what is the relevance in modern time and what is the leadership of current time. What is the lesson from the Sukracharya? Sukraniti emphasizes on ethical leadership, transparency, and accountability. Leaders are encouraged to act integrity and fairness, ensuring justice for all citizens. Justice, nationalism, finance, character, social livelihood, all is related with state and nation. State and nation is responsible for the development of citizen. And in Sukraniti, we can found so many administrative system, just like uh, ruling duties of rajas and princes, duties of ministers, and marriage in social segment, marriage, uh, duty of citizen, and economic sector, some duty of businessman. So many things explained by Sukracharya and Sukraniti. Sukraniti focus on social responsibility and community welfare, aligned with the contemporary efforts, build inclusive and supportive communities. Sustainable development is also we are also found in sustainable development in Sukraniti. They want communicate to citizens of that time कि save environment, save earth, save water for the future generations. It encourages individual to contribute positively to society and value. This is the basic motto of the Sukraniti. The principle of justice and fairness in Sukraniti can guide modern legal and judicial system to ensure that law are applied equitably and justly. Uh, to influence on society, I divide in two part, or I think I take more time, approximate 35 minutes, but I want to summarize within 2 or 3 minutes. Influence on society. Sukraniti basically promote social harmony and provide a framework on education. Education is basically uh, ethical value in promote ethical value for the student, preparing them for the responsible and ethical citizen. This is very important, and now this is the we need in contemporary society this type of responsible and ethical citizen. Holistic development is also the motto of Sukraniti. A spiritual journey, basically a spiritual journey need for the well-being and for the human being for good health and promote coping mechanism, meditation and so many method yoga and self-realization, so many method you told by Sukracharya in Sukraniti. These practices help to individual for the develop coping mechanism. They are talking with their inner selves and evaluate your self because evaluation of yourself is a very important aspect of the Indian classical text. And detachment, because every materialistic thing is not for good everyone, but important for us. But Sukraniti clearly said that key detachment from the material position and desire. And Sukraniti guided to individual towards the more spiritual and focused life for the moksha, prepare for the moksha. This slide is created by me. Maybe some uh, negative point found by me. I when I compare Sukraniti and Western ideology, I found three basically things: holistic versus specifically, and community versus individual emphasizes practical application. Uh, Sukraniti offer the practical guidance for daily life akin to the virtue ethics, focus on character development. Character is a very broad concept. It is not a narrow concept. Yeah, so I cannot explain two or three more things because I think some question answer when going on question answer, I will respond this. I conclude basically Sukraniti in four part. First, ethical framework. Second, holistic approach, practical relevance, and cultural significance. This is the basically conclusion. Sukraniti, classical Indian text, governance and social conduct, uh, focusing on in these those two factors, and moral principle in personal and public life, and a holistic approach aspect of various aspect of life integration, including social, economic, political and spiritual dimension, advocating for the balanced approach of living. Practical relevance, despite its ancient origins, Sukraniti offer practical guidance applicable to contemporary life, promoting value like righteous duty and community welfare. And cultural significance, the study of Sukraniti provide insight into Hindu positivism, highlighting the interplay between the material and spiritual aspect. And this is the bridging the material life and spiritual life, this worldly and other worldly, in Indian culture and society. This is the reference of my presentation, and thank you all of you. Uh, Patiently, you hear to me, and
No, thank you. Dr. Dubey, will you go back to the reference slide, or you can send me the references later on? Very interesting. We can open this up to question and
okay, okay,
answer.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can get a sip of water if you want. This is supremely interesting, especially how this is also connected to health, right? We talk about dharma, and then even a larger aspect of rata comes into play here, which I was talking to you about my project prior to coming online here. All of this is connected. Like, why do we need these rules? Why do we need society to have social harmony? Because once things are set materially, like artha, of course, is important. Once these things are set, then there's a chance of, more spiritual pursuits. So I'm so happy that you connected those dots. Personally, I'm happy to see that. Questions, please. And let me just take pictures. We're open to questions. Okay, while people think of the
Yeah,
question, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, please.
I have a question,
Yes,
to Dr. Dubey,
yeah.
that in terms of developing a framework for understanding, a native, so-called native Indic sociology, what is the criticality of Jati Vyavastha in its original form, not today's caste system, but what is the,
Actually,
yeah, Jati Vyavastha? Yes.
caste system is not part of the Indian classical text. We have not found any caste example up to 1000th century. After 1000th century, we have found caste. Actually, this is the we can say degradation of the Varna system based on the karma. So, But now time we can say caste is important for the politically, because socially caste is not sustained in India in present time. But politically, the caste have importance, relevance now present time. But this is not part of the classical Indian text. I am not found anywhere in the caste. And where when somewhere use jati in classical Indian text, this denote the type of different variety of species in the world. They call jati, manav jati, human caste. This is animal jati, animal caste. This jati in this term, not for the human division of the Indian social fabric. I think I can respond properly, sir.
I mean, I'll take your response from at face value, but the question was pertaining to the sociological framework in understanding the Indian society. And if you are saying that there is historically there hasn't been any caste, I mean,
Yes.
I don't want to I don't want to dispute it. I mean, I don't want to dispute your research, but of course, I mean, I'll not agree to that postulate there. But we can move on. But thanks for answering the question.
Thank you very much.
Mm.
Other questions? Yeah, we're still open to a couple of questions. Dubeji, how is Shukraneeti different from some of the other nitis that we see and other specific things mentioned in other dharmashastras? How is Shukraneeti
Actually,
different? I mean,
Sukraniti.
just main points. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sukraniti is a combination of different dharma classical text. The Indian classical text. This is the mix of so many things. Just like Manusmriti. Are you heard about Manusmriti?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the first social legal classical Indian text. Manusmriti. According to first written rule by Manusmriti in India,
Mm-hmm.
and Niti Niti Satak written by Bharthari, and Mahabharat, Gita, and so many classical Indian texts are covered. And some other insight is in a specific term of in governance,
Mm-hmm.
social system, and some ethical guideline provided by Sukraniti is very different. But this is, we can say, this is the extension of the Indian classical text.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and even if there are no questions, I have one more question, sir. And this might require a little bit of thought. I'm not looking for an exact answer, but we see, and I'm using caste as in Varna and Jati all together. I'm just kind of using that because we have to use the terms that we have, right? And I know some terms have no translation and equivalence. Can harmony, social harmony, personal harmony, societal harmony, in terms of national harmony, can this exist without caste divisions?
Oh,
And when I say
this is
divisions, I don't mean as it is a negative thing, but all these different functioning parts. Can there be any kind of societal functioning as outlined by ancient texts without these jatis, varnas, and divisions? End
actually,
quote.
I think we use legal approach to because the political gap due to caste, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
societal gap due to politics, we can
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Political polarization based on caste is a very dangerous in for the Indian society. But I think when I want to demolish the caste system, this is not possible in this time. This is the true reality of our society. Caste is sustained, and in the present time, caste is very important feature for the uh, ethnic and social identification. But I have some plan. Intercaste marriage, agar, if we proposed intercaste marriage free and uh, legal boundary of the caste, we can remove the legal boundary. Everywhere ask about the what is your caste, what is your religion. I want to break. If we want to break the boundary of caste, so legal approach is the best approach, and I think बहुत टाइम लगेगा अभी सुधार करने
Nee,
में
nee,
तो
so I just wanted to kind of put it out there. I'm like, so all of these things that our ancient texts say to do, or people were doing, is
Indian
it
classical text,
possible?
Indian classical text, they are divided in according to duties,
Hmm.
not divided by birth.
Hmm.
And that time, caste based on birth. This is the closed class, na? We cannot separate to caste identity to individual identity. This is the political identity, and this is the political issue in India. Caste.
Hmm.
Some parties are alive on caste base. Regional parties. So this is the provoked by the regional party. This is a political. Some parties are taking to try inclusive for all caste, but some parties basically I cannot take. I want
No,
not
I
take any
understand.
name
Yeah,
of the party.
that's fine.
So this is not uh, good thing. I know this is the matlab worst concept of that particular present in Indian society caste system. But some ideas about classical text we can remove intercaste marriage and division according to karma and duty based system and functional division of the society. This is the some uh, I can say pathway for the demolishing the caste system.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We pause here. I know it's time. Thank you for your time. This is very nice contribution to your work and the paper that is in the journal. So I do encourage people to go look that up, please. Shukraneeti, we just hear about Shukracharya and we have seen some bad depictions in media and some TV serials, but there's much more to it. So thank you for putting this out to the surface in academic terms. And
Thank you
thank
very much, Anjali Di. Thank you very much, Priyanka Di. Thank you
you.
very much, Adarsh Ji, and all of you join us and listening me patiently. Thank you very much, and sorry for any uh, 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 if any fact said by me wrongly. I am sorry, and thanks a lot. We
Thank
will
you,
meet
sir.
soon.
All right,
Oh, thank
Pranam.
you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
joining.
you.
Namaste.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.